Have you ever met someone who could look on your hand and tell anything about your life that you don't even know it at all? Things you never told to anyone. Hi, I'm not a palm reader. I have 20 years of experience reading people palms. I'm originally from Jakarta, Indonesia. So if you're wondering, no, I'm not based in Bali. I'm based in Jakarta, in the capital city, but I love traveling to Bali in every few months in a year. I'm a yoga practitioner and I'm certified 200 hours teacher. So wellness and travel are a huge part of my life. And Bali is the place where I go to recharge. And by my roots, my parents are Bataknis from Medan, Indonesia. And I was born with this gift, a gift of indigo or someone with a sixth sense. Yeah, sounds a bit scary, but I would say it's like not a modern witch, but someone who has a gift to tell you about the secret in your palm. I had a high sensitivity since I was in a young age. So when I was 5, I asked my nanny because I was closer to my nanny than to my mom, like, where do people after death go? What actually is heaven? What is hell? These weren't normal questions for a 5-year-old kid. But I couldn't help it, so I was still curious and I asked my nanny about it. So my life growing up was a bit complicated. So I was born in London and then raised in Bucharest, Romania. I know, yeah, that's where the vampires are. And before eventually going back to Indonesia. My family is from a Christian family. But because I grew up moving from one country to the others, I never really had a consistent religion foundation when I was a kid. So I was born in London and then I moved to Indonesia for 2 or 3 years and my parents really didn't bring me to the church. But then when I was in Romania, my school was in Orthodox. Most of the people are Orthodox. But then I didn't study religion at school because that was the rule. So, and when I was in Romania, I couldn't find a Christian Protestant church. So that's why I went to a Catholic church in English. While at school, I used Deutsch and Romanian language. So it's a bit hard to understand about the foundation of religion. And even my nanny is a Muslim. I'm from the Christian family. So I do respect all of the religion, but I didn't really have a strong foundation about it. And that's why a couple of times I asked my nanny about the afterlife, the heaven, the hell. And when I was little, I was lost in translation, literally and spiritually. And on the top of that, I could vision my future in my dreams. So when I was a kid, I had so many dreams about people who already passed away talk to me. Like the worst part, I could really talk with my relatives or family who already passed away, which that was a nightmare. And as a child, that was overwhelming with all the questions and everything that I couldn't even Google it because that was very taboo talking about it. But then there was a turning point in my life when I was 12. So at that time, I was so confused with all the questions. But then my sister came to me with a book about palmistry. And that was very interesting because I just read it in one go, but I could understand as I already studied it for years. I know it doesn't make sense, but then I gave that book to my sisters and expecting them to have the same understanding as me. But then, no, they couldn't catch the same thing as what I've read from that book. So at that point, I knew I was different. But then I was still denial. I think that was just a coincidence until something funny. So my family is a bit open-minded, and then I came to a family gathering. I told my aunties, my uncles, and my cousins that, oh, I have read this book and I think I can read your palm. So at the time, they thought it was just for fun, but then I opened their secrets one by one, which that was a bit scary. because I knew their past and what problems they're facing at that moment. That was when I understood that, okay, this is not a usual talent. After years of learning palmistry, then my mom confessed that she used to have that talent too. So in her dreams, she could communicate with the relatives who already passed away. But the difference between my mom and me, my mom push them away from the dreams. She told them like, "Oh, you already passed away. Don't talk to the real human." But then for me, I asked them like, "How is it there? How is the afterlife?" I think I had a high curiosity about afterlife, but then that's how I think I'm spiritually sensitive, and I learn from books and from many experience in life, and I try to accept who I am. I try to accept my talents. The most beautiful part of this journey is that my parents never made me feel that that was wrong or strange. It's okay to have that talent as long as I use it for a good way, not for a black magic or anything bad. And that freedom, I think that was a great thing because not all parents allow their kids to do palm reading, tarot reading, or any other of self-discovery channel. But then for me, it's allowed and they support me very well. So as I got older, I read the Bible. I read the Bible more seriously because I went back to Indonesia and I could understand the language, and I went to the church. So I started exploring religions and spiritual philosophies. That openness has shaped of how I understand the life today. I don't see spiritually one narrow path, but there's something layered and personal that shows up in how I read palms too. I also built a solid corporate career alongside of this. And honestly, that professional experience leading the team has made me even better off reading people, understanding the business, the dynamics, the career, corporate life, which is unfair, I know, and working with different personalities without a necessity conflict. So it really so my talent really helps my career, and I help my clients to build their career too. So that's beautiful, isn't it? Together, they give me a pretty unique lens on people. One of my passion is traveling, and the more I travel, the more I discover and meet strangers. And even during the meeting, I ask them if they want me to read them palm. But even a complete strangers, they're very open to my reading, and they even acknowledge that they can resonate the reading with their life. And the more I meet people and strangers, which means that I don't even know anything about their life, but their palms tell about everything. And the palms also sometimes want me to tell them or even to alert them about the future. For some people, this kind of reading is incredibly difficult, but for me, it just naturally came from my heart. It's like I read people's palm with my heart, mind, experience, and spiritual. And the best thing from palm reading is that everyone has potentials in their life, but some people, they don't know how to uncover, how to explore, and how to improve next. But then me as a reader, I could tell them their potential, what they should do at work, how to even sharpening their career, and that's very helpful. So what do you think about my life? Would you be scared or would you be excited to have a talent as a palm reader? I know my life is so complicated, but I believe that everything that happened in my life, every travel, every people that I met, everything brings me lesson. And I also want to read more palms in my life. But the one thing that I really learned in this past 20 years is that I really hope that people's not taking my advice for granted. So in this channel, I want to share more stories, more things about palm reading. So I really hope that you will enjoy. And if any part of my story resonate with your life, please let me know and comment below.